Hi. Okay. In this video, I want to talk to you about de-escalation of force and escalation of force. Okay. So something that we have to think about when we're using force on our opponents, attackers, right? Because again, anything that you do out there, you're responsible for your actions, right? Legally, definitely legally. Okay, so one of the things that you always want to consider, right? I mean, at the moment of the battle, the heat and the moment and all that, we're always thinking about survival first. Okay, that's always priority, survival. Okay, you're making sure you get home first before him, right? Your consideration is yourself, getting home. Okay, so survival. But you also have to make sure legally that you're okay. All right, so escalation of force, de-escalation of force. How much force do you actually need to go ahead and handle the situation that you're in, right? So I talk to my students, okay, my female students, I tell them, if you're in a bar, okay, somebody grabs you, okay, your goal is not to break them in 3-4 pieces on the floor, okay, because again, it doesn't warrant the situation, all right? If you're outside and you're in an empty parking lot or you're out in the woods, yeah, you break them in 3 pieces and don't worry about the legalities until later, okay? But again, we're talking again about the amount of force you need, right? So just consider it this way, that every situation is different. So story, okay, so way back in the American occupation of the Philippines, right? So you had the Americans and you had the Southern Moros, who had the first suicide warriors back then. They were called the Juramentados, okay? So these guys were religious fanatics, and they'd attack the Americans. They'd run up to them with their kris, and they'd come at them. The soldiers would take the 38 and they'd start shooting at them, boom, 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 and they keep coming, and they still end up getting killed even though they had the gun, right? So yeah, the attacker died, but for the most part, a lot of the people that were shooting at them with 38s also died, right? So at that point, the Americans then changed their guns from 38s to 45s, okay, because those crazy fanatics were able to still come at them, right? So you think about this story, and that's kind of like, well, that's kind of like terrifying, right? These guys have bullets in them and they're still coming, right? So when you think about these kind of things and you think about just a normal attack, right? A person does not have to be in drugs or on drugs to have that kind of zeal to come and attack you and kill you, right? So you always have to wonder in your training, hey, is my training effective enough, right? Can it handle somebody that's that determined, right? Is my art efficient enough to handle that kind of attack? Is my art enough, or am I in the same boat as those guys? I got to upgrade to another caliber, right? So when we're thinking about self-defense, you always have to think about how much force you're going to use, but first thing I'd be really also thinking about with all of that is really, are you equipped? Do you have the right tools in your arsenal, right? When you do, you can play with escalation and de-escalation, right? Because you have the tools and you can ratchet up or tone it down, okay? But again, I tell the story because I think it shows the impact of somebody that's really determined to come at you, right? And as far as like their success rate of doing something like that, right? So, and again, it makes me question my techniques. It makes me question my art. It makes me question my efficiency, okay? But just again, something to consider, right? Something to think about, right? Okay, escalation, de-escalation of force. Do we have the necessary tools to be able to play and implement those concepts? Okay, thank you.